What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Most importantly, if you'd like to join this discussion right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by The Plain Truth, Physics Warrior, Tommy, Paul, Flatten Earth, Earth Truth, Chocolate Saiyan, and Arwin. Good to have you all.
Hello, what ho?
Hello.
Hey, Nathan.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
How's
Good morning,
everyone
good
today?
afternoon, hello. Welcome one and all. Any signs of curvature?
Nope.
No curvature.
Nah.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No.
No, Nathan.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Scientific evidence of what?
Gravity? Scientific
No.
evidence thereof?
No.
Aberration.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
There is no
Not-
distance to the sun.
No.
Well, we did have Dion on the last show, and he's hinting
Yeah, I
a
heard
couple of
that.
weeks'
It was
time.
a bit confusing, and I
Very.
can't say I agree with everything he said, but we're gonna have to discuss this
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
in the
it'll
wizard's back room.
fill us in the fullness
Should be
of time, we
interesting.
shall see. What about evidence
I
of a
think
gas pressure being maintained without a container?
Nah. That can't happen.
No. Wait.
Any
No.
evidence of the molten iron core?
You mean the one at the
Anecdotal
center of a presupposed
evidence.
spherical Earth? No.
No, Nathan, I don't have any proof.
Last but not least, the presupposition of an Earth radius, the R value. Anybody?
Well, it exists in math.
Yes,
Piece of
I know
paper.
there is an R value, Arwin. Is there any evidence of Earth having a spherical radius?
Presumably so.
We'll draw a conclusion to the housekeeping there. Thank you, gentlemen.
Way to go, Arwen.
So I mean, like, we got rudely interrupted by fucking Brenda or whatever it is that was
Try
chatting loads.
not to swear.
No
I
swearing.
don't mind in the after show.
I mean, I was just curious about your guys' views on the sun illuminating the clouds from underneath. And when you make this observation, because I think that observations are evidence, and we can use the bits of evidence to come to our conclusions, and make hypotheses and come up with theories and come up with what's the most likely outcome due to the observations that we make. And I'm just curious what you guys think about the clouds being illuminated from underneath if the sun is apparently above the clouds.
I don't know that it's anywhere.
So when you look in the sky,
Well,
you see the sun in the air. You don't know if the sun is in the air.
No, I think that's a step too far. We see the sun.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's in the air, if it's anywhere.
Well,
As
Are
far
the
as I'm
clouds in the
concerned,
air?
it is a side effect of the daylight coming from that direction that we perceive holographically like a sort of a disk of blinding light. But it's
So-
apparent.
So is the clouds above your head?
Well, it depends. If there's
So
a
you're not
cloud.
going to admit that the clouds are in the sky?
Right. Well, the clouds are localized objects.
Are the clouds in the sky?
The clouds that are
Okay.
above my head are the ones above my head.
Hey,
The-
Ali.
the
How you
clouds
doing?
Yeah,
that-
and
the
you
only
you
clouds
can
that-
Hold on 1 second,
triangulate
guys.
it.
Sorry.
No, but you can
Sorry. Hold on, Owen.
triangulate
Hold
those.
on. Hey, Ali. Can
Hey, Ellie.
you hear us?
Hey,
Good
How
to
you
have you.
doing?
What's up, Ali?
Right.
Hey,
So
guys.
continue.
So Arwen, the clouds are above your head, right?
Yeah, you could say
And
that.
does the sun appear to be above the clouds? Does it appear?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. Where does the sun appear to be relative to the clouds?
Usually behind them.
Behind the clouds.
That's right.
So when you, oh
Or
my god.
right next to them.
Okay, I don't agree. That's not what I see when I look outside.
Well, that's what because you draw more assumptions to it. It's called
really.
physicality assumption bias.
Physicality assumption biased.
Yes.
I don't have a bias.
No,
It's
no, it is. It's a psychological effect.
the sun in the air is as obvious to me as the Earth looking flat. I go outside, I see the sun above the clouds, and I'm not going to doubt myself because you do.
Puff. Yeah,
The
but
sun is clearly at a higher elevation than the clouds.
that's if you assume that it
What about on
has
this
an
picture?
elevation.
Is this picture got the sun highly above the clouds?
As the what?
Look on screen right now.
Yeah.
I just see it on the edge of my vision.
Well, that's when the sun's
in a
setting, right?
demi-sphere around me. That's where we see the globe of the heavens. All
When,
of
when it converges to a point in one view, that's the sun appearing to go to the horizon line because it's converging to a point, or it's going beneath the surface of the Earth.
Nope.
See,
Oh,
but that's
we've got a
the-
troll,
that's the
troll,
reason
troll,
you're
troll.
asking that question.
Hold
right?
on, hold on.
Got him.
Got him. Bastard. So, Tommy, are you suggesting that there's only two alternatives? One,
It could
that
be a
it's,
third.
that it's disappearing to a convergence point. The other, that the Earth is turning, forcing it to disappear behind the leading edge of a sphere. Are you saying those are the only two
Or there could be a
alternatives?
third option that I haven't explored, but the two most the most prominent ones would be them two, right?
Well, the problem with that is unaddressed regarding Arwen's point. So Arwen's saying we don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, I would argue that solar panels gives us a good. They work, right? They charge up, and they can store power, and they can power up houses and objects.
Right.
So there's
Yes.
obviously something about the sun
Yes,
that we can
light,
depend from.
daylight is hitting us. Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's
And it
photons
gives
that
off
we can absorb as power.
And it's coming from the direction of where we see the apparent sun disk.
And solar panels
But what I
work.
claim is that the apparent sun disk is like a side effect. It's not really a physical object you're seeing. It's an optical side effect of the daylight coming from that direction in relation to your position.
Well, you would say that like the sun kind of is like a rainbow.
Yeah,
Okay,
in a way,
I understand that.
of a different nature.
Yeah,
or a step up.
That's your one kind of way of kind of wish-washing and discrediting the observations and the conclusions we can draw from the sun by putting a smoke screen over the sun.
So
then you
what
can measure it.
proof do you have of its exact locality?
The fact that I can see it.
Is that a proof? Oh, seeing things is
same way I
proof
can
of
see-
locality, is it?
The same way I can look at the Earth and it looks flat to me, is the same way I can look at the sun and say, wow, that looks very
Well,
high.
guess what? I'm looking at my
Yeah.
monitor right now. I'm seeing the background of Nathan's hangout.
Yeah.
And it looks really far away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But it's actually 30 centimeters in front of me and it's flat. Right? So, yeah, looks can be deceiving.
I'm just going to fight for Tommy a second, Darwin. So, I'm going to put this to Owen, Tommy, on your behalf, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So what Tommy's saying, Owen, is if we can say that's a clock, that's a spire, that's a boat, we just see it, it's just there. Why can't we do that with the sun? That's what Tommy's saying. There it is. I see it, right? Am I correct, Tommy?
Yeah, that's quite correct. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Sure.
I've got
Sure,
an
the sun is
example.
there, but you don't know that it's actually a physical thing in a literal location.
But what we do know is that we have a good understanding of what the sun is because we're able to have solar panels and we're able to work with the sun in ways more than just the way that we look at it. Well, solar panels do work.
Yeah,
So we know
because
that
sunlight
photons-
is physically there.
So we know that there is photons coming from the sun.
Sunlight is there.
The
It's
sun is giving off energy.
solar panels
can
work
absorb
on
it.
sunlight, not
Hang on.
on the disk we see.
Hang on. I don't think we're going to argue. I mean, we're getting off track of the original question, and also I don't think we would all disagree. I mean, we would not refute the fact that the sun is giving off some kind of light, giving off some kind of heat, and creating solar panels.
Yeah.
But I have something to nature
I
to
do
get to the nature. Hang on,
Do
Erwin.
disagree.
Hang on.
Well,
I've been
you're
quiet.
saying we
Hang
don't
on.
disagree. We do disagree on that. Very
I'm
much
just
so.
saying.
The sun doesn't give off heat.
Okay, it doesn't warm up the day. Okay.
Sunlight
doesn't
hitting the
warm up.
material
Okay.
gives off
Hang on. There's a point. We've got off track of his original question. And I've got a video that I can show you right now to show that even a physical object that's giving off light can reflect underneath something, even though it's higher.
Yeah,
in the
but that would
higher.
happen. That would happen throughout the day. I've already answered that one to you earlier, right?
Now, what were you talking about throughout the day?
Yeah, it would happen at any. If the sun is above and it can illuminate things from underneath,
Not
that would
necessarily.
happen. Well,
Not necessarily.
we only see this. We only see these phenomena as the sun appears to set and go below the horizon.
Okay,
This is
well,
the
let
only
me-
time.
Let me show you the video, and then we could talk about it. Okay. This is Rob
okay.
Skiba. Rob Skiba did this. I'm sharing it.
Okay.
Do you see it? I can blow it up here just a little bit. I'm not
Yes,
going to play
please. Can you
the
blow it
sound
up?
because I don't want
Yeah,
to.
I've seen this before. I've seen this.
Okay. So here's an explanation of a physical object
Mhm.
that's higher than the little tray
Yeah.
there that can
Now you,
reflect light.
now you have to prove the atmosphere is a lens.
Okay, I think on this show they do it every day, showing that the atmosphere is a lens.
Well,
On
and,
this
and then
show,
you,
it's
and then
shown
you
every
have to
day.
show the inconsistency of the sun changing size due to the atmospheric lensing conditions, which isn't something that we see. And so this experiment is completely flawed in many ways because it does not represent what we see in the world. So continue.
What do you mean it doesn't represent? You can, if you do the observation, it shows it setting.
The atmospheric
Off in the
lensing that
distance.
you're about to demonstrate is a very fixed situation, and the atmosphere that would change day in, day out. So it would be an inconsistent test. It would have to give out different readings at different days, but that's not what we see. What you're showing is a lens that can only act in that particular way that will work for this particular science experiment, but it's not. It's not. The atmosphere in the world changes at different days. So some days it's thicker, some days it's lighter. So you would never get the same results. You would have to do this test with different lenses, okay? And different lenses will give you different outcomes, right? And that's not what we see.
You asked for evidence to show how on a flat surface
Yeah,
that
I have.
the light's underneath, and I've given it to you. Now you're bringing in the problems that can be resolved and work themselves out, and this is part of the discussion. But I
Okay.
think even in this panel, we've shown that atmosphere can magnify images. Even Rob had a video showing that. He showed that the atmosphere can magnify something off in the distance. So,
But if the atmosphere was to work as a lens as you claim it to be, or you've kind of demonstrated it in ways, it would change each day. The atmosphere is not the same in 2 days, right? So some days the atmosphere would work as a lens, as you say. But every single day you look at the sun setting with a solar filter and you get a true size image of that sun. And regardless of the atmospheric conditions, does not change the size of the sun dramatically to a point where you could say, oh, atmosphere was up today. The sun has definitely changed. So the point being that the atmosphere does not work as you're kind to trying to make it work.
To awaken narrative for the super chats is obviously and observably flat. Indeedy.
So I've seen
I
that
think we got.
Sorry.
I think we got a little bit sidetracked from.
Hello.
You're breaking up a bit, Ali.
Yeah.
Oh, your sound's breaking up a bit.
Oh, sorry. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
That's
Oh,
better.
shit.
No, you can hear you now.
Oh, God.
We can hear you
Right,
cursing.
okay.
It's all good.
So I was going to ask Tommy then, right? So you are saying all observations are negated, so they can never be used as proof, right?
No, I think that observations are very are pieces of the puzzles of evidence. Yeah, I think that what you see can be used as evidence, right? And you can build a nice,
No, but you just said, did you not just say, well, you can't rely on observations, you know, when whoever it was that was talking.
No, that was
after you.
Brenda. That was Brenda, and I was arguing very adamantly against Brenda because.
All right, so they can.
Yeah.
So why, right? So why would you tell Arwen or Chocolate Saying or whatever that, oh, you should disregard your observations because
I never
they're
said
not
that.
real?
I never said that.
No, that's not what he
Never
said. So
ever
it's
said that.
completely the contrary to that. So what he's saying, Ali, is if I am to assert that we can just see lighthouses or whatever I assert as a flat Earth proof, then he can use the same standard with the sun. I'm waiting for somebody to actually ask when he's been to the sun and checked what it is and touched it, but no one's asking that question yet.
All right, okay. I thought he was asserting that you couldn't use that as proof.
No, I think observations are evidence, you know, and you can piece together all the evidences that you can see with your eyes.
Yeah, but they're exactly, and that's exactly what I'm going to say now then.
Okay.
That's exactly. But I can remember you coming on like quite a while ago.
Okay.
Talking about observations weren't, you were arguing against observations that Ranty had made, Shane and Riley had made,
Riley,
or whatever you were arguing against. But you were arguing against these observations.
Against Riley with he says he has got evidence for
No. Stop. Just a second, right? Forget about what you're going to say that you were specifically arguing.
Come on then.
But you were arguing the fact, wait a minute, you were arguing the fact that these people had made observations. That was an argument. Yeah. And now you're saying that they are now relevant, but yet, as I say beforehand, when you...
What? Give me an example. You're just quoting me from the past, and yet you're not really giving me a quote of something that I have actually said in order for me to actually rebuttal what you're saying. It's like you're talking to some voice in your head, because right now I'm sitting here and you can explain to me exactly what it is, and I can exactly...
No, wait a minute. No, right, one second. That's what you call gaslighting, right? And I can assure, well, wait a minute. I can assure everybody to go back and check what I'm saying about what this guy done before when he came on this discussion place. Now he's saying observations are okay. And this is a point that us people that believe that there's a problem with the shape of the earth, as we're saying, they keep changing their story. And this guy here is a perfect example of someone changing the story. And go and check my facts. Just go back and check.
Quoting me. You're just saying you said something, but I am not telling you what that something is. But you did say something. I'm asking you to tell me exactly.
And now you're going to philosophize. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do is you're going to philosophize. Oh, I didn't say that because there's this little subtlety here.
I refuse to get triggered. I'm going to laugh at you because I'm still waiting for what this apparent.
No, I'm not trying to trigger you.
Okay, well then please tell me what I supposedly said, and then we can go forward.
I'm not trying to.
How about you just ask him what are your reasons to believe it is a globe? That would be more engaging, maybe.
No, I didn't want to do that, but I'm going to be quiet now. But I just wanted to point out because I had to listen to this guy.
I'm asking you to quote what I said.
Because this guy.
Stop.
Excuse me. This guy here.
What I exactly said, so we can address
This guy here came on when he first came on and introduced himself. He was a skeptic, right? And then he kind of slipped himself into, I'm a flat earther. I'm a kind of.
Never once claimed flat earther.
And then, yeah, that's fine. Look. We can all go back. Nathan has recorded every single episode of this, right? So
I have
then
never
suddenly,
been a flat earther. Let me explain. Like, no, just stop
Suddenly-
now. You've said enough. You've said enough. Now it's time for me to
suddenly,
talk. It's time for me to talk. I had a debate.
suddenly that he came on and he started attacking. It was like, it was from one episode to the next. I wish I could precisely show this.
Okay,
Because
cool.
1 minute he left an episode before and he was a flat, not a flat earther, but he wasn't.
Yes, I was
And then the
never a flat
next
earther.
episode, one
Get that
episode
correct.
later, one episode,
That's correct.
or the next time that he turned up, he was like full on aggressive, hating on everybody and
No,
stuff
that's
like
not
that.
true. You're misrepresenting
Well, it is
the whole
actually, because you
situation.
can go back.
It's like
Trust
if you
me.
do
Look,
that-
He has moved.
Dude.
I get the point here. This is
dude, I know it's right. But anyway, I'll mute myself now. I just had to say,
Can I represent myself
just had
properly?
to
You
say
actually
that
allowed me to
about
talk. Well, you've misrepresented
Tommy.
me. When I
That
first
was
came
all.
on the Dave Oakley show, right? I brought what I believed to be this evidence for that truth that the Earth can't be flat. Nathan had gone through the whole things and had a go at me, right? I went and reviewed that debate I had with him on the panel with my friend Adam, right? Adam told me that the things that I was arguing with Nathan about, that he has a point, because I didn't really understand the maths that I brought to the table. I didn't. I didn't really.
You sound like a little boy giving excuses.
come on.
He said, "Oh, it wasn't my fault. Oh, it was
I reviewed this with my friend Adam.
It was
I reviewed this with my friend Adam.
It's
and I
honestly
came
good,
back-
man.
Shut up, man. I came back the next day and I spoke to Nathan. And I said, you know what? I reviewed the argument we had yesterday with my friend, and I came to the conclusion that I've had to unlearn everything I've learned, and I have to listen to you guys and try to understand.
It was him. It wasn't my fault.
Put me off.
It wasn't my
Stop
fault.
putting me off. Stop putting me up. So I had to unlearn everything I learned, and I had to take into consideration the alternative explanation for boats disappearing over the horizon, or things tend to disappearing. And then everyone was quite shocked that I backed down from my previous argument and I accepted that this could possibly be another explanation for something, right? I never said I was a flat earther. I just said this one example that you've given me here could be another explanation for something. And that's all I ever said. You guys jumped onto the opinion of saying, oh, Tom is a flat earther now. I've never claimed I was a flat earther. I've never disbelieved in gravity. I've never disbelieved in any of the things that you claim in here. I stuck around for a week.
Hey, Tommy,
it's
it's in Wikipedia.
Let me finish talking because it's a long
It's in
story.
Wikipedia, Tommy the Flat Earther.
Straight, okay? I'm setting you
It
straight
says
right
it
now.
in Wiki.
Now, I listened to you guys for a week, and I've seen the way that you guys debate, and and when I come across evolution, I had a problem because I
Hey,
know
oi.
I know
1
evolution.
second. Excuse me.
I know evolution.
Excuse me, Mr.
Yeah.
Mighty.
We have a constructive conversation here. This is getting
You
really
guys,
annoying.
you guys. That's not constructive. You must admit, Arwen. We don't like to get, as individual thinkers, we do not like to get, we don't like to get called you guys. So don't say you guys, be specific. Who was it
Just shut
that
up,
did
mate.
that
You're
to you,
just
Tommy?
here to troll and obfuscate me. I'm done with you, man. Don't come in here and strawman me and tell me what I said. You ain't even really quoted me on anything I exactly said. You've just come in here and told me what you think or how you kind of half remember it, but that's not accurate. You want to hear from the horse's mouth. Ask me the question, and I will tell you, hand on heart, every single time, 100% correct, because I'm the person who experienced it, not you. I'm the person that you've come and asked this question to. So I'm telling you, that's how it went. I've never claimed to be a flat earther. I've never claimed to be a flat earther.
Thomas.
I've never claimed to believe in all the things. I just said there's one thing that I had to review with my friend, and he
Thomas.
pushed me over the head that you may have a point.
Easy,
and
right?
I give you a week of my time to learn
One
it.
second. What happens in this world, right? You get what you deserve. And you've been a dick. And that's what you've done. You've just been a dick, and that's all. And you're getting what you deserve. And I'm just giving it to you.
What's that? What was it I deserve?
Twat. Exactly. The dishonesty. The dishonesty that you actually argue. Wait a minute. The way that you argue for this supposed ball earth or whatever is disingenuous.
If you say so. I don't agree.
Well, of course you won't agree. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
I don't know, but you've
Right.
come in here. You've just trolled the whole conversation. Well done, and I'm done with talking to you. Thank you for asking the question.
Now you can blame me
Go
for
talk to somebody else. Go
trolling.
and talk to somebody else.
Now you can try
else? I
and
don't want to have a conversation with anymore. I'm done with you.
with me. All right, that's fine. What I will do now.
Can I go back to the original topic?
Indeed,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
please, Paul. That'd be great.
Tommy, which has more atmosphere do you look through when you look up or you look out? How much more atmosphere are you looking through?
I'd say as you're looking out, you would probably see it more because you're looking along the surface of the Earth, and the Earth would be radiating heat, and you'd have more. Things dissipate as they get higher and higher. So I'd say if you're looking straight up, there'll be less things that could come into play. So I'd say across the Earth rather than up in the sky.
So you're going to be looking through more atmosphere, right? If you look out across, okay. Have you ever seen a supermoon over off in the horizon?
I don't know. No, I don't think I can recall a supermoon. No.
I mean, I see them here in Tennessee a lot especially in October. If you look over to the horizon, the moon looks massive. I mean, it looks huge off in the distance. But as it rises throughout the night, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as it gets higher in the atmosphere.
But the moon is a lot closer to us, right? So the differential changes are probably going to be a bit more drastic and probably more noticeable.
No, I'm talking about just pure observation. I'm looking across.
The moon kind of goes around us in an elliptical way, doesn't it? It's not like a perfect circle. It does kind of, it's a kind of elliptical the way it circulates us, right?
So you're saying over the course of a few hours, probably 6 hours, that you're saying if I understand you correctly, you're saying that the moon is going to go from being real close to real far away in 6 hours.
Shout out to Renee for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
What's that, Nathan? Sorry.
I just shouting out somebody for a super chat. Thanks, Renee.
Oh, sorry. So
what I was going to say is nobody has really answered my question yet of the clouds being illuminated. But
I'm trying to get there.
Let me go back. The moon doesn't circulate the Earth in a perfect circle when it should never differentiate in size because it gets closer or further away. It kind of ellipses around the Earth, right?
Okay, I'm not arguing that point of what the moon is doing up in the sky.
That's going to affect
my pure observation. I'm going by pure observation.
Okay. So the moon changing size, that's a good reason why that possibly is happening. And that's just off the top of my head. I've never done no research of this moon thing you're talking about right now, but what I'm aware of is that the moon does ellipse around the Earth. So therefore, it will differentiate in size because it's a lot closer than the sun.
Well, that's what my point is. So you're saying if I take what you're saying is correct, then in a 6 hour period, because I could see the sun setting over on the horizon, it's very massive in the atmosphere. You could see it is very massive. Within a 6 hour period, it's going to be virtually overhead. So probably from the time of sunset, when the moon is off in the distance, to roughly about midnight, it's up high in the sky. So So you're saying, if I take what you're saying is correct, that means it's really close to the Earth at the horizon, but then it's further away at the peak. Right.
Like I said, I mean, this is something that I'm not very aware on, and I will say there's things that I'm possibly wrong on, but off the top of my head, I know that the moon it apparently is going around us in an elliptical fashion, which would give the observation of somebody on the Earth that the moon would be changing size because it's a closer object than the sun, and it's ellipting. It's not going around in a perfect circle that's perfectly symmetrical with the Earth. It's kind of ellipsing, and that ellipsing effect
I understand that.
Will give you the effects of getting bigger and smaller. So
I understand the concept, but a simple observation. I mean, to me, the simple explanation is that you're seeing through more atmosphere, which there's more moisture, there's more other particulates, there's other things in the atmosphere that can account for that looking larger in the atmosphere than when I look up when there's less atmosphere.
So it can be one of the two things. It can be the atmosphere that's acting that way, or it could be that the moon is ellipting like it supposedly does. So really, if we could use the mathematics, if we could do some sort of maths to work out the moon in the atmospheric conditions in that day, that it's appearing bigger, then why doesn't the sun, when it passes through that same atmosphere, behave the same way?
I think it does, and I think it depends on what area of the country.
Let
me finish, Tommy. Hang on. I think if you have more moisture in the air, I think the moisture has a lot to do with it. If you look at probably a dry desert when there's less moisture, or in cold climates when the humidity is very low, I think what you're saying, I mean, that I mean, there would be. Well, actually, I take that back.
Well,
There's actually evidence to show that it gets smaller in those drier climates than it would be in a more humid climates, which I'd have to find some stuff to prove that. But that's just more my speculation at this point. But I think there's just the fact that I think there's explanations other than the elliptic perspective is can account for it. I think there's other explanations that can account for the sun right under the cloud.
We know that the moon circulates elliptically, and it will be changing size. And you're using that little bit of wiggle room to then assert and push this idea that the atmosphere works as a lens. But yet you're not willing to use that same consistent method when it comes to the sun, because you don't know the distance of the sun, you don't know what the sun is, and blah blah blah. And
there is no distance to the sun.
There you go.
Hello.
There you go. So,
hold on one second, guys. Hold on, Tommy.
Work.
Hold on. Hello, Anon. How you doing?
It's me. How you doing, man?
Very good. Just give me 1 second. I want to turn you up a bit. Can you say something else?
Sure. What do you want me to say?
That's all I need. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, let me jump in real quick and ask Tommy something. So, Tommy, you have affirmed a lot of what we say in terms of trusting our eyes, right?
Yeah.
So, when you look up in the sky and you see the sun and the moon, when they are up in the sky, do they look to be about the same size to you?
Yeah, sometimes they look to be like quite exactly the same size.
Okay. So my question is, what makes you alter your interpretation of what you see to then say that the moon is smaller than the sun?
Because sometimes the eclipses aren't properly, like you can see that they don't fit exactly, because it depends on like the positions of the sun, the and the moon, and sometimes it doesn't totally eclipse the sun. The moon. What else could I say off the top of my head?
So okay. So let me go off on what you just said there for a second. So you say that if the moon is supposed to be eclipsing the sun, it doesn't always match up exactly. So they're not precisely right. So would you say the sun is 400 times larger?
Another shout out to Rene for smashing the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much indeed.
If it was so much further away, then it would make sense. That would be consistent. That wouldn't be a contradiction to what the heliocentric model is claiming. So what I'm trying to find from you guys is a direct contradiction. But all I'm seeming to get is denies of the evidence that's purported is not good enough for you, or what else? I can't remember the other bit, but like misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Now, I agree that these things they do look quite similar, same size, but there's other times when it doesn't, and I feel like I can't just, I have to look at I have to ignore a lot of evidence in order to believe that the Earth, the sun hasn't got a distance, the sun isn't above the clouds. There's a lot of stuff that is quite crazy for me to accept. I have to ignore a lot of things.
Tommy, can I say something then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're taking that stance and you believe that you're being honest from taking that stance, which is totally respectable.
Thank you.
But you're still taking a stance. You understand? You're still taking a side.
Same as you taking the side by saying.
No, I'm not. Dude, this is the thing. I'm not taking any side at all.
Okay.
I'm taking the fact as right, because I've been told something all my life, right? I've been told this fact, right?
Okay, yeah.
And now I've been presented with some questions about exactly what's happened, like another alternative opinion, right? Now you are kind of saying that I'm the type of person that's going to drop everything that I got taught, indoctrinated or whatever, just to go for this other. Do you never ask yourself, wait a minute, right? Even though I believe something, why are these people doing that? And it seems to be the consensus with the people that can't understand why we're even questioning it, is that we're lunatics, we're crazy people, or we don't understand. Wait a minute, we don't understand science. But the problem is, we got told we don't understand science. And as Quantum Eraser and Nathan has kind of pointed out in a kind of a fucking strong way to make people actually look into, right, what is the scientific method? What is it? Or whatever. Now, it might not be, wait a minute, Tommy, it might not be exactly, because I can argue for that everything's scientific. An observation, that's the beginning of the scientific. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's natural or whatever. You can go into the semantics or the philosophy of what it is. But for you to kind of disregard and not even think, well, why do these guys
That's
think
not what
that, right? And then you look into it. Wait a minute.
You're saying so much. It's hard for me to respond and calculate everything that you're saying right now. Can you keep it a little bit shorter so I can actually respond to one thing rather than you just saying a bunch of...
you saying that, I thought actually there's probably people that follow. There's probably people.
You were drawing out my attention to the point that you've said so many things. I cannot store everything you've just said and give you a fair answer back because
I think a pen would work. You can use
I thought I laid you down. I actually thought I laid you down a path. I was taking you hand in hand what my meanings were. I thought I was taking you on a little journey down my thought process there. But
yeah, and
that could be my fault.
Being a bit triggered. I don't mean to be the way I am. But I'm quite impulsive, and I can't help. But I'm trying to keep in what you're saying, so I can correct you on the parts where you're going wrong. But you're not allowing me to talk back, and then you keep.
Well, there's a problem. There lieth the problem, right? Is you're trying to correct me on the things that I'm wrong about instead of listening to what I'm going to say, instead of judging me. Instead of judging me, what I'm going to say, instead of judging and arguing in your head.
I see something.
He's wrong. Wait a minute.
Traffic.
I'm teaching you something here. I'm teaching you. You might not realise.
I'm saying stop. You're walking into traffic.
Wait a minute.
You're leading me into traffic, and I'm trying to say I'm not following you anymore because you're going to walk and get run over. Stop walking towards the traffic. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're going to say. But I'm trying to teach you something deeper because you're seeing
you're trying to walk me into oncoming traffic. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm not. Absolutely not. That's see
where you're going wrong. Okay.
There you go. Sorry, Tommy. Right, but the thing is, if you think that's what I'm trying to do, you're wrong.
I know. Okay, come on. Finish what
you're doing. But you are wrong because only I know what I was doing there. Right, you don't. You're surmising on a prejudgment. If someone starts talking in that kind of way. That's what he's doing. You already decided, and that's the point you're making.
Your behaviour is nothing to do with it because you're just innocently walking me into traffic.
No, but that's what you think I'm doing. You understand that?
Yeah. Well,
right, that's your perception.
Okay.
But in my mind, but wait a minute. What I was trying to do, I was trying to lead you. There is no point. The point is right. The point is that these people that say that they think of this and they have they're open-minded and stuff like that. They don't actually realise that they're not being open-minded because they've decided that the science or the arguments that have been told, they're arguing from that perspective instead of arguing from a neutral, not taking either side.
I am the most unbiased person you will know.
No, but you're not because of your attitude, because of the way you perceive.
You saying that I'm not does not mean that I am not. You do not. You cannot sit here and tell me what I do and do not do.
But you proved it by.
You can't do that.
You proved it.
You are not psychic. No, I
Excuse
haven't. What you're proving is right. What you're proving now is that you're saying, well, people are saying that we're crazy because we want to question what we've been indoctrinated to believe. I don't believe that shit for a second, right?
Yeah, but one second.
Not letting me talk to you. This is a very difficult conversation to have.
Yeah, but Tommy, and sometimes it's good to listen.
It's a very difficult conversation to have. You understand that?
Yeah, but the point is the proof that I was making.
Awkward to talk to.
The proof that I was making, the proof that I've got is because you just judged.
Because of the way you're acting. You're
acting like. Well, that's how you perceive I'm acting. You're perceiving me. Wait a minute. You're judging me by how you would understand someone would act in that way, and that was the idea they were trying to get across. Where I could be doing something totally, dude.
I'm not allowed to talk, am I? I can't fucking say nothing. I'm just going to sit here and listen to you going on and on and on.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Go through
And
those
that's the only way you're going to learn, Tommy, is because you don't listen to people, right? It's because you've got the prejudgment.
Going on for half an hour, you still haven't made a point.
Well, I have.
Cool.
You just can't see it.
I can see your behaviour, which I've tried to put you.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But you know what? You know what? You're innocent. You're just trying to, lead me down this little road. You ain't doing nothing wrong. You're just, I'm just trying to what you're doing is just being you're just being awkward.
I never said I was doing anything wrong. I didn't say anything.
Look, the point being, people that flat earthers that are trying to question the things that they're taught, good on them. I don't mind people questioning the reality they live in. That's fine. Science encourages people to debunk this stuff and to come up with better explanations. That's encouraged in science. You doing that is no wrong. But when you make a claim from limited amount of knowledge and say, "Oh, the Earth is definitely flat," because I don't believe the indoctrination I've had, and you unlearn everything you learn. You're saying I'm making a position and I'm holding a position.
You said limited. You said limited, Tommy. What do you mean by limited? No.
That's Colin Taylor for the super chat. Really appreciate your support.
You said limited. What do you mean by limited knowledge?
You don't let me talk back to you when you're talking the same thing. So why should I let you do it? I'm only leading you down the road. Me. See what I'm saying? We can all act like an idiot, and we can all drag people down to stupid.
No. I'm saying I'm allowing you. I'm allowing you to interact now. Yeah? I'm allowing you.
You can't correct me now. How dare you try to correct me? How dare you?
So what do you mean by limited?
Correct me by limited. See what you're doing?
Explain what do you mean limited?
Person you are now. Do you see what you're doing? You see, you're not allowing me to finish, and you wasn't going to sit there and let me teach you because you weren't. You're judging me, and now what you're doing is you
can't really teach anybody anything. Okay. You can't. You haven't got the capability.
Let me finish. You got. I'm trying to take.
Yeah, but Tommy, you don't understand. You're not understanding, right? You don't actually have the ability to teach anybody anything because you're taking it from a biased point of view. You understand? That's what you're doing.
Okay, all right, I agree with you. That's what I'm doing because you say so.
You both get a participation.
Well, that's good, and that's that's always the beginning of healing is the acceptance that you're on the wrong path. What I would now advise you to do is to really look internally. It's only advice. I'm not telling you what to do.
Excuse me, I don't want your advice, and I refute your advice. I don't want to hear it.
Okay,
sorry,
I accept that. As you're right, as a free-thinking human being, you have the right to think exactly what you want to think without anybody attacking you, right?
I understand that.
Right, so why the fuck are you coming here?
I need to explain myself to you because
why are you coming here?
No swearing. Stop. Both of you, stop. If you're going to start swearing at each other, it's obviously too triggered.
I'm sorry.
It's lost its value.
I didn't swear, did I?
I did. No, it was me. It was me. Sorry, Nathan. I apologise. But the point is, so what thinks then, right? So I won't attack you for your beliefs. So why do you come here and attack? Why do you think there's so much?
You know me better than I know myself, so you should know the answer to that. Let's move on.
Well, can I say why I think it is?
I don't really care, and honestly don't want your advice, and I'm done.
But maybe, do you think maybe other people would like to hear why that you come on here and attack people with a different belief than yours?
I pay attention. If you honestly want to know why I am interested in flat Earth and why I hear people's arguments about things, I tend to have a decent knowledge on the world and around me, and I tend to just find it fun.
Yeah, but I asked why you attacked it. Why would you attack it? Attack it. Why would you do that instead of come and discuss it? Kind of, there's a big difference.
Do you not realise that your behaviour is also a result of the way that people treat you? Or do you think it's
all right? So you're justifying because you got attacked.
All right,
you're justifying. Wait a minute. You're justifying because you got attacked.
Guys,
are you going to answer the question?
You got attacked. You got attacked.
Barnes, hello.
You got attacked.
Are you going to answer the question?
For fuck's sake.
You got attacked because you got attacked when you were younger. You think, therefore, it's logical to attack other people now that you're older.
Ali, hang on a second. You know what? He's actually in here to try to discuss. So
no, he's not.
He's...
No, stop. He's not.
Hey, Lorenzo,
Okay,
can I just say hello?
I know,
Sorry,
Tommy.
Paul. Sorry, bear with me a
Nathan
second.
knows
Sorry,
Tommy,
guys. Hello,
Arwin
hello,
knows
hello.
Tommy, we
Sorry
all
to
know
interrupt.
this,
Bear with me.
What
Hello.
do you mean?
Hello. Hello, Lorenzo.
I'm
How you
good.
doing? You say hello, Lorenzo?
He's just you just this.
Shut up, Tommy.
Oh god.
We get hello from
Lorenzo?
our new guest.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Hello, new
Thank
guest.
you.
I think this discussion needs to be taken. If you want to have that discussion with Tommy outside of this, I think that would be fine. I mean, I was actually having a discussion with him, and we were trying to get somewhere. And then, Ali, you were kind of just keep kind of berating him, and you come in here for this is a debate format. So in a way, in a debate format, you attack. So saying he's attacking our position is relevant. That's part of why we want people here to disagree with us, so we can try to learn and figure this out.
Shout out to Dale West Watson for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much indeed.
He was projecting what he was actually doing. He was actually projecting that he's judging me. He thinks I'm here pretending to be fucking Nathan's. Sorry about the swearing. He thinks I'm here pretending to be Nathan's friend, and this is all some sort of setup. No, me and Nathan don't see eye to eye. Right? He will attack me in a moment's notice if I say something that he doesn't agree with, and he will hold no bars. I don't know Nathan. I've never met Nathan. I've never seen Nathan. I've came onto his
Being so damn triggered over it, just let it slide.
All right, let's
Talk
move on.
slowly. Talk slowly.
Okay, so if it's possible, can Paul and Tommy continue their conversation about the atmospheric dome? That'd be wonderful.
We were trying.
Yeah, just I think the elliptical moon would be one of the reasons why it appears to be going bigger and smaller, rather than just the atmosphere being responsible for it. It can only be one of the two, and I think if it's the atmosphere like you think it is, then why can't you use the same logic when it comes to the sun? How come the sun gets a special pass to being this evasive, not knowing where its position is, and changes? And I'm sorry that I talk very fast. It's that I have 3 sisters. And we all talk extremely fast, and that's just how I am. I talk very fast.
Well, I talk very slow, so I'm from the South, so I think we compensate for each other. Well, here's the thing about the sun. I was thinking while all this other discussion was going on, trying to account and think about it. Well, for one, the sun is very bright, so and I understand filters and all that stuff can account for it. But even if you're using a camera to filter out the that you don't know how far it's been magnified in the lens of the camera or even the telescope. So to me, with the sun, it would be a little bit more iffy. But with the moon, because it looks more solid. I'm not going to get into the semantics of what it is. Okay, so it can actually, by that measurement, be a little bit more able to measure and look at the sun because.
You seem to cut out there. Still there?
Yeah, you've lost your mic, Paul. That or Lorenzo sniped off the panel.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I think it's probably his internet.
Right in the middle of Paul's moment. Goes from non-stop verbal diarrhea with Ali and Tommy to great big long gaps. Dead air. Just marvellous.
I'm still here. I don't know whether that's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, then we have some time to breathe.
You're good, Ali. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
I just you've come in with the preconception in your head that I'm some sort of like actor or something like that. Like, all you need to do is ask me the question. You don't need to come along with all this psychology bullshit. You just need to go, no, Tom, are you chatting shit? Is this what I think it is? And I'll just tell you straight. And you've come in here misrepresenting me. And trying to put, you're trying to say, oh, you said this, but you didn't really say nothing. You never quoted me exactly anything, and you've just come in here and just had assumptions about me, and you want the truth. I'll give it to you straight.
Keep on responding to it.
Who's this?
So trolled.
Is he talking to me? Was that to me, Tommy, or something?
Right. That was to you, yeah.
All right, right. Can you sort of repeat that slowly in English?
Okay, sorry. If you think that I'm some sort of actor, or you think I'm just here chatting,
right? No, I don't. I never said that. So, right, continue. Okay. Next.
Whatever
continue.
it is you think that I am, you can just ask me and I will tell you directly. You don't have to.
But I don't think you're a troll. Listen.
Okay.
I never said, listen, dude, get out of your head. I don't think that. I just think that you're just ignorant of the situation, and you're taking it from a point of view that is biased, right? Because you're attacking the idea of it. Anybody that attacks an idea is taking it from a point of view. You understand? Right? Because to attack it means that you disagree, so you have another idea for it, right? Okay, Ali, who has he been attacking? I'm not attacking you. Right? But
he's been attacking Brenda mostly since I joined, so I don't.
No, one second, Armin. I'm just saying, right? If someone is going to attack an idea, that means that they have another idea about the idea that they're attacking, right? They've got another opinion.
Can I respond right now while I have this idea in my head?
That's the point. Now, wait a minute. Let me go a bit further.
Respond, please.
Right, 1 minute. Let me just go a bit further. So, if you have an opinion about something, right? If you have an opinion, I'm talking about me and everybody. I'm not talking about you, Tommy. It's not all about you, my friend. Sorry to disappoint you. You're not the center of the universe, right? So what I'm saying is, right, and I apologize for I did swear that, but the point I'm making is, the minute you have an opinion about something and you criticize something else, you're already starting from a biased point of view, no matter where you get it from, or you want to argue against it. Now, what you have to do is then you have to understand it. Where did I get that point of view from? And then if it's from a logical and a good if it's from a good place and you think you can argue to yourself saying, yep, that's come from a right good source, that's what I believe.
I'm back if you guys want to get back on topic.
Tell me when this guy's finished.
I'm back.
Then right, you can gaslight all you like, my friend, and that doesn't work. But the point I was going to say was, so after doing that, then when you're honest with yourself, then form an opinion. Don't just start coming on chat things and spouting rubbish.
Oh, it's just rumpusing now. All I've got is rumpusing.
Right. I'm back if we want to get back on topic. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Mate, like Paul, I've had a discussion with you and I haven't really attacked you. I've changed ideas back and forth. I said about the Earth illuminating clouds. You give me an example. I give you a report to that. We're having a back and forth. Rumpus came in here. He made stupid claims. I attacked him because.
Right. Stop. Right. Ali's said his piece. You content, Ali? You happy? We all good? Can we carry on?
Okay, yeah, let's don't try.
Yeah, I'm finished, Nathan. Thank you. Thanks very much for your patience, bud. Thank you.
We're all good. Go ahead, Paul.
Sorry about that. What was the last thing you heard from me before my connection dropped? What did you hear? So I won't repeat everything.
Very little.
Oh, sorry. I said, okay, I'll rewind. Basically, I was saying is I think the moon looks to be a physical object. So I think to be able to determine if it's changing angular size in the skies is a little bit better than the sun, because there's so much sun that could, the sunlight is so strong, it would overwhelm most observation. And I understand using a filter, but even when you use a filter using a camera, how do you determine to make sure you're getting the angular size correctly? Because you're using an instrument. So I think there's some factors there that can contribute to that. So I think, that's why I think we want to focus on the moon to determine if the atmosphere is having an effect on the size or the angular size of an object, which like the moon. So which would account if there's any kind of refraction being done by the atmosphere that could account for probably the sunlight under the clouds. That was my ultimate point. So I'll drop it right there.
That could give you false outcomes, and your as far as I'm concerned, the atmosphere is probably responsible for the moon to be changed in size. And I just something off the top of my head, which I thought would, be
I'm I'm not even using, I'm using my own eyesight. I'm not using an aperture. I'm not using a camera. I'm not using a telescope. I'm looking. I can see it's larger on the horizon than when I get up to when it's, I mean, I could probably take my thumb and stick it out there and measure it with my thumb and then take it up and measure it just with my own eyes.
Eyeball it, yeah.
So
Just eyeball it, you know. It's not important. Just use eyeball. But I mean, I'm not aware of the full extent of the question that you're asking me, but I'm just off the top of my head, I do know that the moon ellipses us. It doesn't, you know, and that would be a good explanation of why it appears to change in size at the rate. I know what you're saying is wrong, but I don't have enough knowledge on this topic in order to make a concrete proof or arguments.
Okay, well, let's talk about the elliptic. Let's talk about the elliptic. Okay, now if you're saying, now the elliptic would mean that the moon's moving further away or moving closer at certain periods, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now if it's moving closer, then obviously the angular size would increase if it's moving closer. If it's moving further away, the angular size would.
That would be another explanation, yeah. Rather than the atmosphere that you're.
Now you're going to have to account with the distance that it's traveling in the elliptic, account for the angular size. So you're going to have to factor that in. So if you're saying if it's the elliptic, I'm actually helping you try to figure it out, giving the means to try to.
It's kind of a, you know, I find I've got other things that you know that I can argue about in more detail. But it's something that I'm quite, you know, I can't really give you what you probably want, because it's something that I don't really think is relevant. Like, you know, I don't think the atmosphere is affecting the moon. And off the top of my head, I've given you my alternate possibility, which makes sense also. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's interesting that you have this view, but I do think that there is more than one reason for why it's appearing to change size. And I haven't got enough. I haven't got enough education or knowledge in this subject in order to be further than that.
Tommy, can I answer the question that you posed before?
Anything you want, mate? I mean, yeah, everyone, all that conversation. It's not all about me, apparently. You know, I do feel like it's been quite consistently questions coming back, and you know, I'm happy to hear what everyone else is saying also, and to add my 2 pence into. But yeah, I mean, trying to rebuttal the simple point of clouds being illuminated from underneath when the sun actually sets. Like, I mean, I'm happy to hear people's view on that. That's the first question I asked.
Well, I have an opinion on that.
Cool.
Yeah, right. So depending on where you are on the Earth, if you see the sunlight coming from a specific direction when it's close to the horizon, if you then contact somebody that is, let's say, 100 kilometers in that direction of the sun, call them up, and you tell them, what do you see? They're going to see the sun further back on its arc. Yeah. And the sun there is going to be coming from another direction, right? So what actually happens is, as soon as the cycle is finished, when it goes below the demisphere, then there's literally going to be sunlight coming from that direction.
I understand. I agree with you.
Even though you won't probably see this phenomena of the sun disk itself anymore, because it's kind of fluid where the apparent disk appears, where the sunlight is coming from. It's fluid in relation to the position on the Earth.
You're watching this on Nathan Oakley channel, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980 live, then unfortunately this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you for tuning in and smashing the super chat. If you need something to keep you occupied after this live stream ends, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!